Hello guys, welcome back. Again we have another question. Question is, what is the use of the network command under the EIGRP or OSPF routing protocol, guys? If you are going to use the command router EIGRP, suppose AS number 20 and you are going to use the network statement. So what this command actually is going to work, if I am going to use the 10.0.0.0, so what it will do here now? Network, most of the people are confused, means most of the people have the misunderstanding. Network command is basically we are using to advertise the network. But basically network statement we are not going to use to advertise any network. Network command we are using to enable the routing protocol on the interface. That is the main purpose of the network statement under the EIGRP or OSPF. So what is the first point? To enable the routing protocol. Suppose I am using this command, network 10.0.0, or network 10.0.0 and wildcard mask we are not using anything. So by default it will be used the wildcard mask 0.255.255.255.255. Because of this IP is belonging from the class A. So first 8 bit it is going to match. And 8 bit are matching on which interfaces, guys? On loopback 0, on loopback 1, loopback 2 and loopback 3 and loopback 4. So what will happen if I am going to use this command on all these interfaces? EIGRP protocol will enable. That is the first task that will happen. That will perform by the network statement. Second, what will happen? Second task is whatever the network is connected. Means if I am talking about if the loopback 0 EIGRP protocol has enabled now. So which network is connected on this interface? So it's a 10.0.0/24. This network is connected. So this network will place into the EIGRP topology table. Similarly, on the loopback 1 also EIGRP protocol has been enabled now. So whatever the network is connected, this will be pushed into the EIGRP topology table. So before going to push the EIGRP topology table, obviously EIGRP will calculate the metric value, and then after that it will push into the EIGRP topology table. The second task is to add network into the topology table. What is the next task? Third task. That interface where the EIGRP protocol we are going to enable, that interface will join a multicast group. As you know, guys, EIGRP or OSPF, they will send the hello message on the multicast address. Suppose I am going to use on the R1, I am just going to use a command network 12.0.0.1 and wildcard mask I am going to use 0.0.0. That means I am going to match the complete 32 bit. So complete 32 bit is matching on which interface? It is matching on the F1 by 0. With this IP address it is matching. So F1 by 0, on the F1 by 0 what will happen? EIGRP protocol will enable. And whatever the network is running on that interface, here which network is running? It's running 12.0.0/8. So will be pushed into the EIGRP topology table. One more thing will happen, that interface will join a multicast group. By default this interface can listen the traffic for which IP address? It can listen the traffic for their own IP address, and it can listen the traffic for the broadcast address. But once the EIGRP will enable, this interface can listen the traffic for a multicast group, that is 224.0.0.10. If EIGRP protocol is not enabled, this interface will never listen the traffic for the 224.0.0.10. So what will happen if R1 is suppose going to forward the hello message? What will be the source IP in that case on that interface? Source IP will be there 12.0.0.1. Destination IP will be a multicast address 224.0.0.10, and then layer 2 header will be there. This packet will be reached to the R2 which interface F1 by 0. Suppose here the EIGRP is not enabled. So that interface will never receive this hello message because of the destination address is multicast and this interface is not a member of the multicast group. So to make the member of this multicast group on R2, what we have to do? We have to execute again one more command, router EIGRP 10, and then if you are going to use the network statement 12.0.0.2 and wildcard mask we can use 0.0.0.0. That we can use. So if I am using this command on R2, so here also the EIGRP will enable and both will exchange the hello message and will form the neighborship. So first thing what will happen to enable the routing protocol. Second point, to add the network which is connected on that enable routing protocol enable interface, that will be pushed into the EIGRP topology table. If it is OSPF, so that will be pushed into that link information will push into the OSPF database, means router LSA1. And third, what will be happen? That interface will join a multicast group. And one more thing will happen once the EIGRP, once the routing protocol are enabled on that interface. So DND will enable. DND means what? Dynamic neighbor discovery will enable. That means after every 5 seconds, EIGRP will forward the hello message on that interface once the EIGRP protocol are enabled on that interface. If it is OSPF, then it will send the hello message after every 10 seconds. So that will happen if you are going to use the network statements. That means network statement is basically to use performing these 4 operations. First, to enable the routing protocol. Second, means once the routing protocol will enable on that interface, whatever the network is connected with that interface, that will be pushed into the EIGRP topology table. Either it's OSPF, that link information will push into the OSPF database. Third, that interface will join a multicast group. If it is EIGRP, it will join the 224.0.0.10. If it is a OSPF, then it will join the 224.0.0.5. Might be it can also join in case of OSPF 224.0.0.6 because of if it is going to elect as a DR or BDR. Fourth point, DND will enable dynamic neighbor discovery. That means hello message will forward on every time interval. Like if it is EIGRP, so it will be forward after every 5 seconds. If it is OSPF, it will be forward after every 10 seconds. In the same scenario, if I am going to use under the EIGRP router EIGRP 10, and if I am going to use the network statement 10.0.0.0 and wildcard mask if I am going to use 3.255. So what will happen in that case? It is going to match how many bit? It's going to match the only 22 bits. This is my matching IP, this is the number of bit. So 22 bit is matching here also, here also, here also, and here also. That means all these 4 network, all these 4 interfaces, EIGRP protocol will enable, and those network will be placed into the EIGRP topology table. Then after that means if you are going to use this command, after that you are going to see the topology, check the EIGRP topology table, you will be not get this entry into the EIGRP topology table because of on this interface EIGRP is not enabled. Got it, guys? So basically EIGRP means network command what is doing. So there is 4 major operations. That is first to enable the routing protocol. Second, that network which is connected with that interface will be placed into the EIGRP topology table, or if it is OSPF, so it will be placed into the database. Second, third option, what will happen? Third, that interface will join a multicast group. And fourth one, DND will activate. That means dynamic neighbor discovery will activate after certain interval. It will send the hello message. In EIGRP, it will send the hello message after every 5 seconds, and in OSPF, it will send the hello message after every 10 seconds. Thank you, guys.